Coming up on Designing Texas, homes and gardens from Dallas to Detroit. The hills of Kingswood is elevated to new heights, and the Fielder Report helps you do Valentine's Day just right. Designing Texas starts now. Hello everybody, I'm Jocelyn White and welcome to this edition of Designing Texas, the only show of its kind in the Lone Star State, and as you probably know, our motto is Upscale Living with a Down-Home Heart. Valentine's Day only a couple of days away, so I've got on my Valentine red, check for the jacket, check for the shoes, check for the nails. Thank you, Tony D'Elia. We are ready to go, and we have a little Valentine surprise for you later in the show. But first, let's talk about homes and all the ideas that we give you with the homes that we show on the program. Gary Riggs is our man full of ideas, and Gary, if you will, give us a little sneak peek of the background of the owners for the home you'll show us today.
Well, this is a family that we've helped before in their original home, and this home is going to be a second home for them.
Right.
And we're up high, 15th floor in one of the nicer high rises here in Dallas, and this is going to be spectacular when it's all done.
As we stand here, there is nothing but magnificent views. So this place is ready and waiting. And Gary, as I understand it, this is where we'll end, but you're going to show us where it all begins.
Right. Jocelyn, this here is our staging area that we're getting ready to be able to do this installation. It's going to be in one of the high rises down in Dallas. As you can see, we've got a wide array of color and texture and pattern. And once the home is finished with all the paint, the carpet, they put in new floors, all of the things that are being done to make the home ready, we're going to take and install all of these items that we've chosen to be able to put the whole house together. The great news is that we're going to be able to install this entirely in one day. So by the end of that day, everything will be move-in ready, all the shelves will be fixed, the paintings hung, everything will be so that they can move right in and enjoy. What's great about the living room in this home is that it's quite large. We're going to be able to do more than just a sitting area. We've got game table and chairs and some other things that's going to make it a little bit more interesting space, but still very, very comfortable. All the colors that we've chosen are coming out of one of the real nice abstract art pieces. We're pulling some fuchsia out of there, so we're going to have fuchsias, purples. We're going to have taupes and that kind of coloration, so it's going to be really interesting against the backdrop of this porpoise color that is, depending on what light you look at it in, kind of a charcoal, almost goes into almost a greenish kind of tone, but it plays really well off of all the different colors that we're going to be using. With just a little bit of the construction left to do, like carpets being laid today, and they did some tack strips around and different things like that to kind of finish up on all the flooring. It's been kind of a 2-month process to get the place ready. We'll be installing next week, so it's going to be a lot of fun to finally be able to see it come together. Of course, what's really great about this place is the view and the downtown area that you see from the windows. They've got an obstruction from several different directions, so it really makes a nice place, and they've always kind of got to change if they want it. But what we tried to do interior was to give them a space that was comfortable enough that they can really relax and enjoy the beauty of what's around them. So next month, you're going to be able to see the finished product here. It'll all be installed in one day next week, so you'll be able to come and see the entire thing all finished.
Can't wait. As Gary said, we'll see the whole project put together next month. In the meantime, we move from great ideas in our backyard, so to speak, to ideas in front yards and spaces all over Detroit, Michigan. We visited with Jim Saratani, who is they call him the landscape architect to the stars. And we dig into the Designing America vault for tour time.
I was 13 years old and I started cutting lawns in the neighborhood. Started cutting lawns for a builder, cut 3 of his models, and just developed from there. All of a sudden a few more neighbors and then a few more, and before I knew it, about 100 lawns in high school, and then cut lawns all through high school, and earned my way through Michigan State University cutting lawns. And when I was done with that, developed more from the maintenance side of it into the landscape design and installation.
Jim Saratani is a native of Northville, a posh suburb of Detroit. This self-made, self-employed man has a definite feel for and knowledge of what looks and works best in the yards and gardens of Michigan, and that includes his own elegant home.
We've used a lot of flower carpet roses. We like using flower carpet roses because we get a lot of color. The spiral dwarf Alberta spruce that we've got in the big urns in the front, I think that's probably one of my favorites. I think people have become more aware of the landscape, building these beautiful new big homes. They respect the outside as much as they had the inside. We do a preliminary design, and basically it's a concept of what we're looking for. And that concept is what we're trying to create into reality. So we take the conceptual design, and we work with it, and then we bring that to life for our clients.
How long a process is it usually? Or does it ever end?
Well, yeah. I mean, it depends on the scope of the project, really. I mean, we've got some jobs that we can get in and out in a day, and absolutely amaze people that we can do that. And then we've got others that have taken 3 and 4 months. So the scope of the work really depends on the project.
In the business since 1986, Jim finds more and more high-profile clients are bringing jobs that are challenging and consequently enormously satisfying. Now, this new home belongs to Detroit Lions defensive end Robert Porcher.
That's been a great project. We've had a lot of fun over there. We also have a brick paver driveway over there, but we've done something very interesting to our climate here in Michigan, and that is we've installed a hydronics. And what that is
what is that?
It's an underground piping system that pipes hot water through, and it heats the driveway during the wintertime. So that it melts the snow as it hits the brick pavers.
So he's not out there shoveling
Not out
snow.
there shoveling. We also have outdoor heaters that are gas heaters that we can use in the fall because it gets cool here in Michigan in the fall. And Mr. Porcher likes to do a lot of entertaining, and that keeps his guests warm.
Dre Bly, a Super Bowl and Pro Bowl veteran, is another Lion who relies on Jim for landscape needs and his expertise.
Dre moved into a new home that was a spec home by a builder, and we did a landscape plan, and it turned out really, really nice. And Dre got the idea that next year he wanted a circle driveway. Well, I said, Dre, if we're going to do a circle driveway, I think it's time to take out the cement and put brick pavers in. So,
why brick pavers?
Brick pavers in Michigan are great because we have a lot of heaving, and the cement does not heave as well. Obviously, it cracks. So the brick pavers have some give to it. And we like to use the brick pavers, especially on the driveways, and also aesthetics. I mean, it is so elegant to drive up onto a driveway that's all brick pavers. Gives you that old world feel.
Everybody who's been to my house, first thing they notice is the great, yard that I have, the look that I have. And, I look at other people's yards, I ride past their houses, and I'm very happy with, with the one I have and the job that he's done.
With every job, there are problems to solve, and this exquisite home in the Bellagio community is a perfect example.
We started out with wanting to put a swimming pool in, and then we've changed our mind. We went from a swimming pool to a hot tub, and the hot tub is it's incredible to look at. And we've also incorporated a fountain, and this fountain, it's all iron. It's out of Alabama, it's a beautiful fountain, and that gives his guests an opportunity to walk around on the bluestone patio and kind of sit beside the fountain and listen to the water. It's really neat.
Do you have a signature look?
We do. We do. We do a lot of double hedging with the boxwood and yews, and then in front of that we use begonias. And the begonias give us our color from May till early October. And that's our signature look. I mean, everybody that drives by could tell that is our look.
Jim Saratani has come a long way since he first started mowing yards at the age of 13.
If you could do anybody's yard, whose yard would you like to landscape and take care of?
Yours, Jocelyn.
Fun, huh? Well, there's more fun in store as Kathy Fielder is front and center when it comes to dark chocolate. But first, the Hills of Kingswood is getting ready for spring, and a bit of elevation is just the right thing. We'll be back in a moment.
What do you see when you look in the mirror? Is your tummy pooching over? And no matter how much dieting or exercise you do, nothing works? Maybe you want a little or a lot more, or maybe a little less of a cup size. Do you see some extra jiggle under your arms or thighs that make you feel insecure? Dr. Robert True is triple board certified and specializes in making you feel beautiful from the inside out. Call today for your free consultation. No matter what you see, the solution can be found at TrueMD.
Restless leg syndrome runs in families. Help end restless leg syndrome for future generations by becoming a member of the RLS Foundation. More strength, more knowledge, more hope for a cure. Visit rls.org.
Hi, I'm Jocelyn White with John Zazelka, and we're here at home in the Hills of Kingswood. John, good to see you.
Great to see you, Jocelyn.
Now tell me, how has this on again, off again, spring, winter, every kind of weather affected what's going on at the Hills of Kingswood?
Well, it's been one of those strange years, Jocelyn. You know, the weather plays such a big role in our business, and you know, especially before you get the homes under roof. And luckily, we've got a number of our fabulous homes that our people have customized under roof, so it hasn't slowed us down too badly. Now we are putting in phase 3A, and it slows down a little, but it's going to be wonderful, and we'll probably talk about that in more detail next month.
Okay, and right now let's find out what is going on at the Hills with the 360. Here's John.
Well, our 360, Jocelyn, this month is pretty exciting because we have so many of our custom builders with their houses at the point where it's starting to make my dream come true. My dream, if I might digress a little, is going back about 20 years when I first saw this property that was so unusual. It took about 10 years to acquire it, and we've now been doing the first phases for the last almost 10 years, and it's turning out just as well or better than I imagined. And we have so many great custom builders and so many great private homeowners that have purchased their lots, hired their architects, and built something really special. And Sharon Webb, who is always on site, she is just phenomenal. I would stress that all of you, please go see Sharon Webb at the Gatehouse. And she could fill you in detail who our custom builders are, how they can help you, what style of home you wanted to build, what type of lot you wanted to end up having, and the views. You know, we have a 60-foot elevation change on this property that's highly unusual for any property that I've seen in the area in all the years that I've been developing here in Dallas. I'm very excited to have this as the premier project in our portfolio. Now, Ron Davis, you have to go and see his home. His home now is almost complete, and it is turning out to be a spectacular home. Now he has, if you remember, we talked about a safe room, which I think is very, very much a wave of the future. And his safe room has now been installed in the garage area, and thanks to the folks at Lone Star Safe Rooms. And another one of our show homes at the Hills of Kingswood is Reynolds Signature Homes, and here to talk about it is Shelley Reynolds.
Thanks, John. Yes, we are well underway. Green is a beautiful color. We have the zip wall installed from Advanitech. The HVAC guys are here doing the duct work. The electricians are wiring the house, getting ready for Randy and all of his guys at Audio Video Innovations to come in and do the pre-wire for the electronics.
Awesome job, Shelley, and hopefully next month we'll be able to show, certainly we can talk about right now, Pool Stop, which is starting construction on this fabulous pool they designed for the back of this special home. And that is our 360 for this month.
One of the things I'm really excited about this month is the fact that these are really big homes, and if you're moving from top to bottom, you don't always want to have to walk, particularly if you've got a lot of things in your hands. So guess what? D&D Elevators has the answer. These guys can take it from the ground up, or they can retrofit an elevator just to your specifications.
My business partner and I, Donald Monsieur, we have about 20 years combined in the elevator industry. We had worked together previously. In December of last year, we decided, why don't we do this thing together? D&D Elevators does everything from new installation. We also retrofit elevators, both residential, commercial. We do roped hydraulic, machine roomless. We also do pitless for people that can't get the recess in the slab. We also maintain, repair, service, and we also can do commercial elevators, as well as dumbwaiters, stair chairs, platform lifts, any type of accessibility lift we can do.
You know, kind of give you a rundown on how D&D actually does things. Office gives the contractor a proposal, and what we do is we come out, we get a takeoff on it, which basically I come out, I get a rough measurement of just the framing, meet with the framers so that way we could get the 2x12 backing in place in the right direction. I come out, I mark it on the things where that needs to be at. I also try to meet with the electricians so this way we can make sure that they have all the electrical requirements that we need in the right spots. We send that to the manufacturer. They send us a set of preliminary drawings, and once we get the preliminary drawings, I come back out and re-verify that everything that the manufacturer has, because every one of these elevators is built custom to fit in the shaft that we have.
In a house like this, it's already been planned for an elevator. And so there's other houses all along the DFW Metroplex where there be maybe stacked closets, or there may be a different space, a second set of staircase sometimes, or a space outside where you can actually build an elevator shaft and retrofit an elevator. If you also have the stacked closets, like if it's not prepared for an elevator, one thing you could do is actually put it on the exterior. You could take out a back set of staircases, or you could find another space. Sometimes one of the things we did recently was take a spot out of a third car garage. It's something to where you can just get anywhere up to 15 square feet to maximize and put an elevator shaft anywhere.
When we put an elevator on a maintenance program, what I like to do, we have a state inspector come out. He inspects the elevator for safety, make sure that everything is working properly, make sure that it was installed correctly, and then he gives us the green tag on it. And then once that's done, we come out semi-annually or quarterly. We don't want anyone to come in and try to work on their own elevator.
We at D&D Elevators are extremely excited to be the elevator provider for Reynolds Signature Homes and doing the elevator here at the show home in the Hills of Kingswood.
We're going to be installing a Wapaka roped hydraulic. It's going to be a 950-pound capacity. It's going to go 40 foot a minute. Basically, it's going to be 25 foot of travel. We're going to have 10 foot of overhead, so they're going to get an 8-foot cab. Basically, all the upgrades. They're going to get a preferred aluminum gate. We're going to do an automatic gate operator on it. There's going to be a hands-free phone that's going to be installed in it, so there will be two-way communications from if someone's inside the elevator. They can even order pizza from inside the elevator if they wanted to. There's a crawl space, so that's going to be just enough height so we could get the tank unit and the hydraulic pump unit and the controller down there. So this way, the homeowners don't hear the vibration or anything like that. There'll be basically virtually no noise coming from this unit at all.
We at D&D Elevators like to be here for the life of the elevator. So we like to be here from installation through the life of the elevator, from where we always give everybody a 2-year warranty. Most other people don't do that. And so we also like to offer what we call either a semi-annual contract or a quarterly maintenance agreement, where we come out 2 to 4 times a year and make sure that the elevator is taken care of the way it should be. If you have a manufacturer of a residential elevator that's gone out of business, such as the Elevator Company, Otis at Home, Concord, Conquest, National Wheel Elevator, we can repair and get parts for all of those different types of elevators. So if you give us a shot, we won't let you down. At D&D Elevator, we couldn't be more excited to be working with Reynolds Signature Home at their show home in the hills of Kingswood.
Good job, David and Donald, D&D Elevators. One other thing, he mentioned it, but I want to reiterate. They do service on elevators, and not just on their own, other people's too. Well, that's it for us today here at the Hills of Kingswood. John, anything you want to add? What are we talking about next month?
Well, thank you so much, Jocelyn. Next month, we'll be getting into our 9 custom builders that are actually doing we call phase 3A. And these will all be very special custom homes.
Great. Well, that's it for us. We're at home here in the Hills of Kingswood. We think you should be too. Thanks a lot, John.
Thank you.
Are you ready to start building the home of your dreams in the Hills of Kingswood? For more information on builders, vendors, and more, go to hillsofkingswood.com or contact Sharon Webb for your own private tour through the Hills of Kingswood. Call 214-212-2004. She'll meet you at the gate.
Welcome back to the final portion of Designing Texas. Well, Valentine's Day, straight ahead. If you haven't decided what you're going to do with your honey, may Kathy Fielder make a suggestion. She met with a mixologist. Have you ever thought about, well, champagne and chocolate, but maybe bourbon and chocolate? Let's find out. Here's the Fielder Report.
Hi, and welcome to the Fielder Report. Today we're at Republic National Distributing Company, and while you may know them as the distributor of most of the wine and alcohol that you get at your favorite restaurant, you might not know that Republic was around well before Prohibition. Today we are talking about Valentine's Day cocktails, and while you may expect wine or champagne, we're actually going to take a look at bourbon. We're going to work with mixologist Dub Davis here at Republic, and we're going to mix some cocktails just for you. So Deb, thank you so much for having me today. I'm super excited because I actually am really not a bourbon drinker, and so from what I am hearing all over town and everywhere I see, there are all these great cocktails with bourbon, and I never order one. And so today we are going to talk a little bit about cocktails that you feel like are relatable to women and men with bourbon.
Actually, yes. Today we're doing a chocolate old fashioned.
Tell me what's in an old fashioned.
Typically it's sugar, bitters, and booze. Today we're using Woodford Reserve bourbon.
Okay. And so you said chocolate, and so is that a normal kind of additive?
This company, Fee Brothers, makes a chocolate bitters, which is great, and I think it pairs well with Valentine's Day and any chocolate as well.
Absolutely, because Valentine's Day is just a couple days away, so this is perfect. All right, so you have all these fancy tools.
Correct.
Okay, but today we're not going to use those.
We're not going to use these because these usually aren't at your house.
All right, show me what to do.
We're going to use just a little bit of simple syrup.
Okay.
It's half water, half sugar. You have it at your house.
Equal parts?
Equal parts.
Okay.
Next, we're going to use our Fee Brothers Aztec chocolate bitters.
And how do you know how much to put?
Just as much as you want.
Perfect. So chocolate, is it usually overpowered by the bourbon, or kind of
No, it's actually a
enhances?
perfect mix, but you'll realize based on taste that some people either like more chocolate or they like more bourbon, they like more sugar. This is something that you might want to play with, but there really is no bad recipe.
Got it. Okay.
Next, we're going to use a little bit of Angostura bitter. Next, we're going to add our whiskey.
So 4 ingredients.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, but I noticed you didn't put ice in before.
We did not.
And
I
tell
like
me
everything.
why.
I like everything to mix a little bit.
Okay.
And then I add my ice.
So most people put a bunch of ice in a glass and they mix up their cocktail,
Correct.
and you say put
Not
it
a fan
at
of
the
that.
end. Okay. Well, there you go. There you have it. So today's cocktail usually has a really pretty little garnish. So tell me something that would work really well with this cocktail.
Okay. Well, generally what you normally would use is a orange peel.
Okay.
But a little added twist to it are brandied cherries, and there's a couple different brands out there. What you would do is take a small, doesn't have to be a perfect toothpick, but just push the toothpick through. Grab a brandied cherry. Sometimes you see them at a bar and you think they're olives. They're really not.
Right.
It's a beautiful cherry.
Very different taste.
Correct. Do it just like that.
And just throw it over the top. So don't forget to mix it up a little this Valentine's Day, and we appreciate you being with us on the Fielder Report. Deb, thank you so much for having us. We had a great time.
Cheers.
A lot of fun. Bourbon and chocolate, huh? I'm gonna have to give that one a try. You let me know what you think. Before we close the show today, we do have the finishing touch to send your way, and it's one of my favorite stores in the universe. It just happens to be in downtown Hot Springs, Arkansas. It's called Gary Morris Designs, and he's got a ton of fun in his little shop.
I like to make it just comfortable and really interesting, different pieces, you know, like a very eclectic mix of things, something that everybody can enjoy. I don't normally just do one style per se. I mean, I like to mix it all up where people, you know, come in the store, they can find something, you know, without it all being one style. Very unique things that no one can find anywhere else. That's what I try to do, and if I wouldn't put it in my house, I wouldn't buy it, so.
And some of the favorite things?
Lamps, the common men. I have different sculptures. I love the art I picked out. I mean, people love it.
And for people who have lake houses, you've got a lot of...
I got a lot of lake stuff, sure do, yeah. Got to have that around here,
sure.
so, yeah.
In fact, we shot a lot of it in my house yesterday.
Awesome. So, and also, you know, we always have gallery walk the first Friday of every month.
What is Gallery Walk?
Gallery Walk is all the nice galleries around here that are located around this area. They stay open late. They have different art from, you know, different artists and stuff. And then I just have my store open as well. And everybody comes out for a good time and walks around. It's very energetic. It's a lot of fun. I mean,
drink a little wine.
Drink a little wine. Yeah,
take a little stroll.
Exactly. So.
Now, my little lake house is on Lake Hamilton, which is just south of downtown Hot Springs. A lot of those things that you saw in that store, you'll probably see again in my condo when we show it off in the next couple of months. Well, thank you for your time today. We hope you've had as much fun watching as we had doing the show. Enjoy your Valentine's Day, and today, for me, home is wherever your Valentine is, of course. We'll see you next time.